getting that podcast live, motivation, meditation, inspiration. Today I want to talk a little bit about revisiting your challenges. One of the things that starts to become apparent is a routine. What does it mean to have a routine? What does it mean to get up when others would be sleeping, when others would be not putting in the time? And here we are talking about challenges and how creating a process is important. Talking about the energy inside of ourselves and the ability inside of ourselves to overcome all of our obstacles. And when you're facing off against challenges, you're going to have to start to do things when others would not. When others would throw in the towel, when others would say it's not possible. As I start this sauna up this morning, I drink these shakes and I sit here and I ask myself, what are you doing this for? What purpose does this bring you to start your day before other people? What does it bring you to put your time, your effort, your energy in to the process? And it reminds me that it's worth it. Reminds me that we can absolutely take on our challenges, that we can absolutely start to grow when we are willing to do the things that others are not willing to do, which is universal law. It is the things that you're doing when other people are sleeping, the things that you're doing when other people are not recognizing what it takes to be themselves. And ultimately, inside of that space, you start to find yours. You start to find your answers. You find your solutions. You find your ability to believe in yourself, to believe in what it means to be you, what it means to ultimately spend time on yourself. And as I prepare myself to head into the sauna, I just want to recognize this day, this space, this ability to wake up and start to get on top of it. It's not always easy when you start a routine. It's not always easy when you start a position or you say you're going to start doing something. It becomes easier as you put in the time, as you put in the effort, as you put in the ability, and the mentality starts to grow. See, it's amazing when your challenges start to be overcome by being yourself. And inside of that space, you have to make time to prepare yourself. And this is that preparation before doing meditation today. This is that preparation that says today is worth it. Today's challenges, today's process, today's ability is there. It's the ability to remind yourself that you have what it takes, that you could prepare yourself before you start anything. And I am grateful for the mere fact that everything that's happened in this life has taught me the lessons. It's taught me the process of being oneself, the process of utilizing the energy inside so that it works for you, so that it starts to help you to grow, to believe in yourself. You see, a lot of people lose the ability to believe in themselves by not giving themselves the ability to be ahead of the game, to be able to do the things that other people wouldn't do, the things that other people wouldn't say, the other things that other people wouldn't speak into their mind and into existence. But recognize that by spending that kind of time on yourself, on your process, on your ability within who you are, you can start to overcome your challenges. You can start to become a blessing. You can start to become a doer, and a part of being yourself is spending time on yourself. It's a space where focus becomes clear, where focus becomes, what does it mean to be you? What does it mean to focus on the things that you want to achieve? Focus on the place where you want to be. See, a lot of people, they lose that by oversleeping. They lose that by not taking a space for themselves, not taking a place to put that kind of time in. You know, it's quite amazing to sit down and spend time doing energy work. It's quite amazing to find the time to. You know, sometimes our lives are going to get so busy that we have to remember to make sure to make that time for ourselves. You know, if you're only getting 4 hours of sleep a night, then spend one putting that energy into yourself. 30 minutes, 10 minutes even of self-study can go a long way sometimes. It can go a long way in the growth within you. It can go a long way in the ability to manifest. And, you know, it's not just going to change your day. It's not just going to change your week. Ultimately, it's going to change your month. It's going to change your year. And so when you spend some time on yourself, the ultimate goal would be to at least spend an hour on yourself a day. But if you only have 10 minutes, take the 10 minutes to sit down or stretch or write things down or speak things out. Take the 20 minutes, the 30 minutes to put yourself in that space where you have the upper hand on your being. Become present within oneself. Become present within one's journey. Become present within one's understanding that your challenges are not there to stop you. They're meant to help you to grow. They're meant to help you to believe in yourself. They're meant to ask you, are you really going to allow those things to stop you? And so as I sit here today, in this space, asking myself that question, am I really going to allow the process to be greater than the challenges? And the answer is, yeah, I'm going to let that process be greater than the challenges. I'm going to wake up earlier. I'm going to start putting out videos earlier. I'm going to start, getting the process going in place that's required to overcome emotion, to overcome challenges, to become who we are inside, to use the gifts to positively impact the universe, to positively impact the being within, from the home to the profession to the emotion. What does it mean to be you? What does it mean to be ahead of everything that you're facing off against? How do you, what separates you? Unless you spend the time to do that. And here I am, sitting here with my morning shake, in front of the camera, putting out this video, putting out this podcast. What does it mean is the question that we ask today. What does it mean when you're having challenges that you're facing off against? How can you use those kind of tools to overcome your challenges? What are those kind of tools? Where is your right, your left, your top, your bottom? Where are you in the map of your journey? I have this picture that was drawn by a 4-year-old. If a 4-year-old can understand right, top, left, bottom, and center, why can't some of us sometimes remember that? If we can read, and we spend 12 years of our lives being required to read, what gives us a reason to stop reading? What gives us a reason to stop writing? What gives us a reason to stop growing? And so, spending 30 minutes a day strengthening those areas of our life, strengthening those areas of our being, speaking things out, sitting down in meditation, exercising. One of the classes that they teach in high school and in middle school and is PE. Do we spend a few minutes mastering ourselves, to master the process of being who you are? And so we want things to move in our direction, but are we taking the steps to do so? Are we taking the place to put our energy in that space? And it took me a moment. It took me some time to sit back and ask that kind of a question. It took me some time to sit back and start to become that kind of a person. It's not going to happen overnight unless you're willing to put in the time. If you're willing to put in the time, then the results will reflect outwards. If you're willing to put in the time, then the actions will become a result of your mind. It will become a result of your ability inside of you to believe in you. See, a lot of times we forget about our internal being, and we get stuck on what is the easiest route. The easiest route is to truly take the route that's going to bring you closer towards yourself. It's going to bring you closer towards your challenge. It's going to bring you closer towards your ability inside of who you are. I am amazed that I'm still alive. I'm amazed that through all the challenges I've been through, I'm still here. I am amazed that these things that would have the ability to ultimately stop one self from believing have made me grow. It's crazy some of the things that I've been through in this life, and ultimately those things that are there to teach us. They're there to give us the ability to grow. They're there to give us the ability to become who we are within. And inside of that space, inside of that place within who you are, comes answers. It comes with a place of purpose. It comes with a place of ability. And as I get out here and I start to create these videos on a daily basis, when I start to create the process of growth, of healing, and in that space, it takes work. In that space, it takes time. It takes, it's almost like when you are a baby and you go to school for the first time. You have to restart remembering how to, you start to learn how to use those kind of skills. And sometimes those kinds of resets are important. Sometimes those kind of resets are what will open you up. It will remind you to spend the time on yourself, to spend the time in that space where nobody else is willing to go. And if you're willing to do so, if you're willing to not throw in the towel, but to continue when others would give up, if you're willing to continue when all the odds would be against you, when you're down and you're face down. One of my favorite meditations in the sauna is face down, because when your bearings are gone and you're still looking at it, it ultimately becomes within yourself. And it reminds you that no matter where you are, if you look inwards, you can find the answers. If you look inwards, you can start to find the place where your growth will start to truly happen. It's not just enough for everything on the outside to be great. What has to happen is the inside builds the outside as a result. I was asked in an interview for sales, so do you have a clientele? And I said, they'll come to me. And he looked at me and said, well, with no clientele, how are they going to come to you? And I said, it's already there. It's already in place. It's all good. What matters to me is that if this position is required for me, if this position is meant to be mine, if this space where I'm looking to join your team is important, then I'm more important that your team feel comfortable, that your team realize that I will go work to find the deals that they're missing. I will go work to be the person inside of oneself where the challenges start to be overcome, where the process becomes the result. And, if you liked it or didn't like it, did realize is that it's already there. It's already in place. It's already in inside of that space that's already meant. And it's kind of amazing when we take the time to set ourselves aside by believing in who we are. It's kind of amazing when people ask, what is it that you have to offer, and you already believe in yourself enough to know that whatever the challenge is, you can overcome. Surprised that that was even an answer in that interview, because if you look within yourself, you always find the answer. If you look within yourself, you always find the solution. It's the one that has to seek it from the outside who doesn't truly have true comparison or true bearing. It's when you think that there's no way to overcome your challenges that you forget. And even though it may be that person is new, it's truly amazing when one's challenges become a result of their part of their journey. And it's not for us to understand people's journey. It's for us to allow ourselves to look inwards and to allow our journey. And to find that way that we can overcome our challenges. It's really amazing to me is when I see people who are having challenges, but they're not looking inwards for the answers. They're not looking inwards for the solution. It's not on the outside that you find those. It's on the inside. That you find the result, So my question isn't how, but what skills do you use? And what space do you go into when you're facing off against yourself, And that's the space that I'm in today. I'm in that space where I'm in that place where asking oneself, what does it mean to be you, sits, that space of building, that space of being oneself with your journey, being oneself with your purpose. It's inside of you yourself is a map. Inside of oneself is a place of focus, knowledge, and discipline. So how do you unlock that? How do you spend the time to open that part of who you are inside unless you spend the time to do so? And so here we are. It's early in the morning. We're getting started with our morning shake. And then we're going to head into the sauna. And then after the sauna, we're going to start the day. What is it, your morning routine, that positivity in mentality and preparation starts to open up? What is it in your mentalities that you can start to believe in yourself? What does it mean to you to learn how to turn the things in your life positive? What does it mean to you that you can find a way to become disciplined, to become a part of the process of growth in your life? I would enjoy to share that and to hear your comments, to hear your challenges, and to start to work to overcome those kinds of challenges together, and eventually start building a community of people who believe in themselves and believe in their dreams and believe that their goals and their challenges are worth it. And so here you go. Here is the throw out towards that let's get this going. Let's get this space going, connect with the multiple platforms that are available to the mind to write things down, to speak things out, to learn how to use those kind of skills. And inside of that place, I do hope that we start to grow and we start to find our center. If a 4-year-old can figure out where center is, what gives us an excuse to find out where our center is? What gives us an excuse to not put in the time? What gives us an excuse to not be able to understand left, right, top, bottom, and center in our lives? What gives us not the ability to spend time working on ourselves? If a 4-year-old can sit down and understand what a center is, where we, what progression can we achieve if we can yet but understand that the simplicity in that lesson is to understand where the center of oneself is, to put your self-study in place, where ultimately your growth can happen. You see, it's amazing when it's somebody else, but when it's brought down to that level where even a 4-year-old can understand it, can you understand what I'm saying? Can you hear what I'm saying here? Is that you have what it takes within yourself, and it's ultimately our own fault if we don't put our time in, if we don't put our energy in, if we don't put our space inside of who we are in place to focus to that point. And so here we go. getting ready to head into that sauna. I just want to hope you all a blessed day as always, and namaste.